And we're back. Now, remember I told you before the break, you're going to want to hear this. Believe me, you are. And you're also going to want to see, because we have, thanks to Emily Spivey, one of the best, if not the best, editor, producer, director I've ever worked with. You're not going to believe the story you're about to hear. First, let's meet our guest, Trenton Kissee. Trenton, welcome, my friend.
Thank you, sir. Good to be here.
Good to have you. We appreciate you taking time and bringing us the information on all this. And what we're talking about, I want to read it so I get it correct, is the Looped Square Meat Company. Did I get it all in?
You did. You got it right.
All right. Let's stop for just a second and establish a couple of things. You serve both the public and the Creek Nation.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. So we are an entity owned by the Muscogee Creek Nation. It currently sits under the government branch in the Division of Agriculture and Natural Resources. And that's where I serve the government as well. But we are open to the public. We're right there off Highway 75, and we've seen tons of folks come in already.
I think, and it's a wonderful idea. Let's tell folks what we've got here. I'll talk too much. You explain what it is, what the title of Meat Market's all about.
Sure. So we've got a few different enterprises there in that same location. The one that folks right now are probably most aware of is the retail market, which is not just a meat market. We have fresh produce, we have drinks, we have breakfast items, and we have more and more that we're adding all the time. We've been open 8 days now, so still fairly new. But in the back of the house, we also have a full-scale custom processing facility where we can bring in livestock from the outside and either process those for other folks if they want to take those home and either keep them for themselves or sell them to the public. And then we have our own cattle herd as well through the Muscogee Creek Nation that we bring our livestock in and process those, and those are available for sale as well. And then in the future, we're going to have a separate part of the facility where we're also able to do deer processing. So I know Oklahoma's big time deer hunters. My family hunts as well. And so we look forward to be able to serve, folks that bring us wild game and want it processed to the same standards that they would get at the store. And we're able to do that for them.
Now, as I understand it, let me know if I leave anything out. You have beef, pork, sheep, goat, and as you mentioned, deer during deer season. But this is all under USDA inspection. I mean, you guys are tightly regulated.
Yes, sir. So the USDA inspection, once we're given the grant of inspection, we haven't started processing. We haven't started custom processing yet. We're waiting on one piece of equipment. When we do, and USDA gives the grant of inspection, they've been involved from the get-go. We've already submitted our application and things. So it's a little bit of a process. They go through and come in and do regular visits. They've been on site several times. And so once they give sort of the final thumbs up, then we will be able to do beef, pork, sheep, and goats under USDA inspection. Deer processing is not USDA inspected. It's what's called, it's basically custom exempt. And so folks bring that in. It's not for sale. You can't sell that to the public. So that's sort of the difference between the USDA inspection side and the custom side on the wildlife. And part of the reason that we built those two separate facilities into one, because you can't have wildlife or uninspected product come in and cross-contaminate USDA inspected product. And so in order to be able to continue to serve our customers and meet our own needs with the ranch and be able to keep the retail shelves full, we didn't want to have to shut down beef and pork or sheep and goat inspection during deer season. So we have a whole separate facility inside of our facility that will be able to handle that without any cross-contamination. No equipment's used for both. It's only used for deer during deer season. Then after deer season ends, we have a sanitation company that comes in every evening. They'll come in, do a full sanitation. USDA will inspect it. And then we can use that portion of the plant the rest of the year for our beef, pork, sheep, and goat production.
Well, and you also have jerky and sausages and brats and ham?
Yes, sir. So we have a full-scale processing floor. We're able to do all kinds of raw and ready-to-eat products. So we do your steaks and roasts and chops and things like that. And we also bring in outside products. So we bring in inspected pork, just like a Reese's or a Walmart would. And we can bring it in, smoke it and cure it ourselves, and then, do our own versions of bacon and breakfast sausages. We've done our own smoked sausage so far. We've done summer sausages, summer sausage with cheese and jalapeno, snack sticks, a lot of value add products like that.
Sounds so good. I should have eaten before before I talk to you. Trenton, whose idea was this? I mean, this is something that should have happened years ago.
It's been an idea for, and not just for the Muscogee Creek Nation, but for several tribes. But the nation's been talking about this for a long time, and it's sort of one of those things that every good idea needs the opportunity. And so with all of the disruption that happened due to COVID and everything, we were able to sort of get the opportunity and be able to kind of piece together all the things that we needed and make it work. So just a credit to the administration, the Muscogee Creek Nation administration, and the National Council, who've been very supportive, full steam ahead. Government gets a lot of flack for not being very agile. But in this case, and in a lot of cases, especially throughout Indian country, government reacts quickly when there's a need and when there's an opportunity to serve people. And so that's one thing that I'm particularly proud of to work in Indian country for is that the response is there. And when the resources are there, they'll pull out the stops and really get it done to make a need met.
You guys also have essentially a mini grocery store.
Yes, sir.
You?
Yes, sir. So we have a full scale retail store out front where you can come in and buy. Currently, the beef in the store is beef that we raised on our own ranch. So we've had it throughout its entire life and production cycle. And then we also, like I said, like other grocery stores do, bring in outside products, some pork. We've got chicken. We've got a variety of fresh and frozen produce and frozen meals. Convenience meals, people come in and want to grab a bag. We've got a really popular shrimp boil bag that people are really enjoying right now. They come in and it's just frozen shrimp, potatoes and corn in the works. And it's a quick cook. It's something easy on a weeknight when, families are busy and kids have sports and folks have extracurriculars and boards they serve on. And so we want to be a place where the community can come and find something, whether they're looking for a fancy meal that they're entertaining their, special guests, or something that's just everybody's tired. What can we do that's quick and nutritious? And that's kind of what our goal is.
I bet there were a few raised eyebrows inside the Creek Nation when all of a sudden they realized they had a tiger by the tail.
It's been good. Great. It's been good. Everybody's been excited. Everybody's been very supportive. Like I said, the nation worked really quickly, and it took many departments working together across the government and across the branches, the judicial, the legislative, and the administrative branch. All the branches have had to come together in multiple departments. There's a lot of clearance that goes into a project like this. Especially for a tribal government. Lots of different regulations have to be met, and anybody who's been involved in these types of plants are aware of that. And so there's lots of regulatory processes you have to go through, and there's interdepartmental and then interagency communications that have to occur, and lots of T's to cross and I's to dot. But like I said, it's been a great team effort. My team and other teams throughout the nation have worked really hard, and so we're really proud of this project, and we're excited to let folks in and come see it. Come and see us.
Have you got any food trucks?
We don't currently. Like I said, we've been open for about 8 days. I think, there's lots of opportunities for not only our plant, but more of a localized food and a regionalized food market now than ever before. Folks are more interested in that. Folks are more interested in the story that goes along with their meal. And not only that, but they want to be able to ask questions, and that's one of my favorite parts currently at the retail store is, folks can come in and ask, how do you raise it? What goes into this? How'd you make this? And instead of being able to go to a big box store where that product was just brought in and already packaged and labeled, you can come in and meet the folks that packaged it and labeled it. And so we can tell you how it started and how it finishes and what's in it. And that's something I really enjoy. I think food's one of those things that people are not necessarily skeptical of, but it's been so far and away for so long. The way that the food system set up and the economy has kind of evolved. It's not something you think about. Food production is not something that folks are close to. It's not something they're typically involved with, unless you're just right there near one of the big meccas of food production. And so it's nice to be able to bring some of that back, like the old time butcher counter, where somebody can come up and ask questions and say, hey, I got, my mother-in-law's coming into town this weekend. What should I cook her? And we can walk them through that and see what they like and kind of give them an idea how to cook that and prepare that. And so that's something we really enjoy.
Trenton, we got about 3.5 minutes. Help me understand, and the folks who are watching at home right now, because we have a lot of people in this neck of the woods who have small herds. And they may see this as a way to supplement their income from that herd. They might see this as a way to supplement their freezer. am I addressing this correctly in
Absolutely.
saying that those doors are also open?
Absolutely. And that's one of the huge things about this project. It's about food security and it's about getting food to folks, but it's also an economic driver. I grew up on a ranch. I got folks that raise cattle, and I've got friends that raise cattle, been involved in the cattle industry for many years. And so it's neat to be able to see producers be able to bring their product to a facility. They're proud of it. They work really hard. No one knows it better than them. But because we're going to be USDA inspected, they won't have any restrictions on selling that product, even across state lines. So you're seeing a lot more producers now who are going to take that, they take a little bit of additional risk, and it's a little bit of additional cost to own a calf from birth all the way through the feeding phase. But if they're able to do that and they're able to produce a really quality product, they can bring it here. We can process it and package it for them under their own label. And then because it'll be USDA inspected, they can either distribute that from their homes or business, or they can ship that across the United States. And so we have a lot of citizens throughout the reservation, and a lot of folks
Sure.
even just throughout the state of Oklahoma who are excited to bring their livestock here and have an additional income stream.
I also get the feeling that there is the possibility that ultimately, for some of the tribal members who are in severe economic straits, there would be ways for the tribe to supplement their food sources as well.
Absolutely. And so there have been lots of discussions about that. And that's one of the additional things that's neat about this. The nation has a ton of nutrition programs as well. It's through another department, but the nutrition program is very helpful, distributing food and doing all sorts of support for citizens who need it. And so this will allow us to be able to kind of explore ways to make that program more efficient. If we can raise and grow a product more efficiently than they're able to purchase right now, then we're certainly going to look forward to that. And then, National Council and the administration can always develop programs and create policy that can help citizens. And that's certainly an avenue that's being pursued.
Trenton, I got about 30 seconds before I have to run and let you get back to business, but I want to give you a heads up. I'm coming down. I want to see this operation. Is it possible to set up a meeting and get with you and meet you there and kind of get a tour of the place?
Absolutely. You let me know when, and we'll be glad to have you.
You're the man, and I appreciate it. Trenton Kissee, and we're talking about a wonderful idea that now is up and running and doing a great business. Thank you, my friend. We'll talk again.
Thank you, sir. Good to be on.
We're all out of time, folks. Thank you for being a part of it, and we'll see you